Astronomers have now identified a second object, indistinguishable from I/Atlas, entering our solar system. This revelation has transformed what was already considered the most consequential astronomical discovery in history into something far more unsettling. For months, scientists have monitored the original Atlas as it moved through the solar system, performing maneuvers that defy any known natural explanation. Now, confirmation has come that another object, displaying the same impossible characteristics, is approaching from deep space. Identical size, identical electromagnetic signature, identical propulsion behavior. This is not chance. This is coordination. The newly identified object, provisionally named Atlas II, was detected simultaneously by several observatories after researchers noticed unusual gravitational disturbances indicating the approach of a massive body. Once telescopes focused on the calculated coordinates, they revealed an object nearly indistinguishable from the original Atlas, traveling on a trajectory that will carry it into the inner solar system within weeks. What has pushed space agencies across the globe into crisis mode is that Atlas II is not moving randomly. Its course is deliberately calculated to bring it close to the original Atlas. The two objects appear to be on converging paths, strongly implying that they are part of a coordinated mission rather than isolated interstellar wanderers. And if there are two, the possibility of more cannot be ignored. Astronomers are now urgently surveying deep space, fearing that what was believed to be a solitary visitor may instead represent the advanced presence of something far larger. Before we reveal what else scientists are uncovering, and why the discovery of a second Atlas fundamentally alters our understanding of this situation, subscribe and leave a like, because humanity has just learned it is no longer dealing with a single explorer. One Atlas was astonishing. Two Atlas objects suggest organization, intent, and a scale that may be overwhelming. The identification of Atlas II was not accidental. It followed weeks of data indicating that something was gravitationally abnormal in the outer solar system. Astronomers tracking the original Atlas detected subtle but persistent deviations in its trajectory over the past month. Small variations that could not be attributed to the gravitational influence of known planets or the Sun. Though minimal, these deviations implied that a massive object was exerting influence from far away. A specialist in gravitational dynamics described the realization. Unexplained changes in trajectory indicate unaccounted for mass nearby. Calculations were run to determine where such mass would need to be to create the observed perturbations, and the results pointed to a specific region of deep space. Multiple observatories were instructed to scan that area, and on the very first sweep, they found it. What appeared was an object matching Atlas in size, reflectivity, and electromagnetic emissions, approaching the solar system from a slightly different angle, but clearly on an intercept trajectory. The verification process moved quickly because Atlas II made no effort to conceal itself. It was emitting electromagnetic signals identical to those of the original Atlas, using the same frequencies and modulation patterns. It was as if the two objects were communicating across millions of miles of space. Early measurements show Atlas II to be approximately 740 meters in diameter, marginally smaller than the original 800-meter Atlas, but well within the same size classification. Its surface exhibits the same geometric formations and metallic luster, and spectroscopic analysis indicates identical composition. The same impossible titanium-vanadium alloy that should not occur naturally. What definitively confirmed this as a second object rather than an interstellar comet was its behavior. Within hours of detection, Atlas II executed a deliberate course adjustment, unmistakably demonstrating controlled propulsion. It was not drifting, it was navigating. A planetary defense expert summarized the implication. A single object with impossible characteristics might still be dismissed as a natural anomaly not yet understood. Two identical objects, both showing advanced propulsion, eliminate that possibility. That is technology, and technology implies a creator and a purpose. The timing of Atlas II's arrival is equally significant. It is entering the solar system precisely as the original Atlas has been conducting major operations. The Mars survey, the solar transit, every maneuver recorded so far. The arrival of Atlas II now suggests those actions were components of a broader plan requiring multiple units. Radio observatories have detected communication between the two objects, with signal patterns consistent with data exchange. Atlas and Atlas II are actively sharing information, coordinating their actions. What is most disturbing about Atlas II is not merely its existence, but the precision of its timing and trajectory. Analysis shows it did not coincidentally arrive alongside the original Atlas. The approach vectors, velocities, and timing all point to a coordinated launch from a common origin, possibly thousands of years ago. An astrophysicist reviewing the data explained that two spacecraft launched from the same location on slightly different trajectories can be timed to arrive at their destination within the same window if calculated carefully. That is exactly what is being observed here, synchronized arrival despite different routes. The communication patterns reinforce this conclusion. The transmissions resemble routine mission exchanges, status confirmations, sensor data transfers, coordination signals. These are not random emissions. They are operational updates. Even more concerning, trajectory modeling indicates Atlas II was always intended to arrive at this exact moment, after the original Atlas completed initial reconnaissance and evaluation. That level of planning implies calculations accounting for stellar motion, gravitational forces, and galactic drift over thousands of years, executed with extraordinary precision. A navigation systems specialist likened it to firing two arrows at a moving target from 1,000 miles away and having them land inches apart after years of travel. The computational power required is immense. Atlas II's arrival also hints at mission phases. The original Atlas appears to have focused on observation, Mars, Earth, solar interaction. The second object may mark a transition into a new phase, whatever that may be. Classified briefings across multiple space agencies now revolve around a troubling question. If Atlas represented Phase 1 reconnaissance, what does Phase 2 require, a second object? The presence of Atlas II forces a complete reinterpretation of everything observed so far. What was once perceived as a lone visitor now appears to be part of a structured mission involving multiple assets and coordinated objectives. First, it confirms Atlas is artificial. One anomaly might be natural. Two identical, synchronized objects are manufactured. Someone constructed these, launched them toward our solar system, and timed their arrival deliberately. Second, it demonstrates long-term planning. These objects did not decide recently to visit. Their paths indicate journeys lasting thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of years. This mission was conceived before human civilization existed. Third, it reveals advanced coordination capabilities. Atlas and Atlas II communicate across immense distances, exchange data, and synchronize operations in real time despite being millions of miles apart. Most unsettling of all, the existence of Atlas II raises the possibility of additional unseen objects. If there are two, why not 3, 5, or 10? Are these the entire mission or only the beginning? Astronomers are now conducting exhaustive deep space surveys using the same methods that led to the discovery of Atlas II. One survey scientist explained that they are scanning for objects matching Atlas's size, electromagnetic output, reflectivity, and trajectory profile. If more exist, immediate detection is critical, because the difference between confronting 2 objects and confronting 20 would drastically alter humanity's options. The discovery also reveals the nature of whoever built these objects. Constructing a single interstellar probe is monumental. Building multiple identical units and launching them on coordinated missions across thousands of light years requires vast industrial capacity and resources, indicating a highly advanced, established civilization. An aerospace engineer noted that these are not prototypes or desperate attempts. They are standardized production units, launched with clear objectives, evidence of an industrial society capable of manufacturing interstellar technology at scale. Perhaps most alarming is where Atlas and Atlas II are headed. Both are maneuvering toward each other, adjusting their trajectories to achieve what orbital mechanics experts call a rendezvous, matching position and velocity so spacecraft can meet and operate together. Current projections place this rendezvous in the inner solar system within weeks. The estimated meeting point lies somewhere between Earth's orbit and Venus's orbit, uncomfortably close to our planet. Defense analysts are deeply concerned about what may occur when they meet. Will they dock and form a larger structure? Coordinate joint operations? Exchange cargo or data? Or deploy something that requires both objects to be present? Military space surveillance networks are tracking them continuously, preparing for multiple scenarios, none reassuring. Based on current models, Atlas and Atlas II will rendezvous in approximately 3 weeks, coinciding with countdown-like numerical sequences embedded in Atlas's transmissions. One serious hypothesis suggests Atlas and Atlas II are components of a larger system designed to function only when assembled. An engineer explained that if an object is too large to travel interstellar distances as a single unit, it would be sent in pieces and assembled at its destination. The identical construction of the two objects supports this theory. Together, they may enable capabilities neither possesses alone. The discovery of Atlas II has initiated the most intensive deep space search ever conducted. Within 72 hours of its confirmation, astronomers detected additional gravitational anomalies suggesting at least 2 more massive objects in the outer solar system. Preliminary data hints that humanity may be facing not 2 objects, but 4 or more. Some signatures indicate smaller bodies, perhaps 100 to 200 meters wide, traveling in formation with the larger ones, possibly support craft or specialized assets. Radio telescope arrays are also detecting multiple electromagnetic signals matching Atlas's communication profile. Some originate from known objects. Others come from regions without visual confirmation, implying additional broadcasting units not yet visible. The signals suggest networking behavior, a mesh communication system with each object relaying data, extending range and redundancy. A communications expert described it as military-grade infrastructure designed for resilience. Archived astronomical data has revealed anomalies going back months or even years that may correspond to Atlas-type objects. It is possible they've been present longer than anyone realized, captured in images but not recognized. The implications of multiple Atlas objects are profound. Redundancy ensures mission continuation if one unit fails. Multiple units enable complex, coordinated operations far beyond what a single object could achieve. Their existence signals confidence and immense resource investment. Strategically, multiple coordinated objects represent overwhelming technological superiority. Yet there is also a more hopeful interpretation. A fleet with redundancy may not need to act defensively. An anthropologist studying first contact scenarios suggested that multiple vessels could indicate peaceful intent, confidence rather than aggression. Everything now converges on a timeline 3 weeks away. Atlas and Atlas II will rendezvous. The countdown reaches 0. Additional objects may reveal themselves. Whatever this mission is building toward will unfold. Space agencies are preparing for every scenario while acknowledging they may be unprepared for all of them. Emergency protocols are being revised. Communication strategies are being finalized. Defensive postures are being established. Not because they are effective, but because humanity must show it is not entirely helpless. The debate over public transparency continues. Some officials insist the truth must be shared. Astronomers are now considering the broader implications of multiple Atlas-class objects in the solar system, and the picture is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. The presence of more than 2 coordinated interstellar objects suggests a level of planning and foresight that surpasses anything humanity has ever attempted. Each object appears to serve a distinct purpose, yet they operate as a unified network, demonstrating sophisticated mission architecture. This implies not just advanced propulsion or material science, but long-term strategic vision, an intelligence capable of calculating trajectories, communication protocols, and mission phases over millennia. The potential scale of this operation is staggering. If additional objects exist beyond Atlas and Atlas II, it would indicate a distributed system, with reconnaissance units, support craft, and possibly specialized vessels for tasks we cannot yet comprehend. Observations of their electromagnetic communication suggest a highly resilient, adaptive network capable of functioning across vast interstellar distances. This mesh of signals is unlike any natural phenomenon, displaying patterns consistent with deliberate coordination and data sharing. Furthermore, archive data hints that some of these objects may have been subtly interacting with the solar system long before detection, suggesting a level of patience and long-term monitoring that dwarfs human observational history. Humanity is now not only witnessing the arrival of extraterrestrial technology, but also the unveiling of a calculated, multi-phase mission whose ultimate objective remains unknown and potentially beyond our comprehension. The stakes are unprecedented, and the urgency to understand and respond grows by the day.